Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. My basic Warlock run continues. I have so much surprise damage in here for an arena deck, it boggles the mind. 2 Soul Fires, a Bluegill, 2 Wolf Riders, Leroy friggin' Jenkins, like the thing that all the constructed decks, that almost every constructed deck uses to have a better chance of just suddenly killing their opponent. I've got all that, plus an Argent Commander. So much surprise damage. I also have a Molten Giant for those crazy comebacks. So, it's really interesting, but the drawback is most of those cards are not good defensively. They can't fight with other minions well. They come out and they damage or kill one minion, and they die in the process. Which is why Argent Commander is so awesome, because he can usually kill one thing and live. But it's also why it's possible to have too much just surprise, charge sort of stuff in your deck. Alright.
Gul'dan versus Valera.
We've got a rogue.
Watch your back.
Your soul shall be mine!
I'm going first. He's great, but too expensive. This is strong, but I don't want it in my starting hand. I guess I'll keep the Ghoul. Even though early in the game, he's also more likely to kind of get ganked. It's better if I had some way to protect him, which I don't in this deck, so he's probably just going to die. But at least he's something that my opponent will probably spend a whole bunch of effort killing. People do not want to leave anything alive that can grow. And his condition for growing is really easy to meet. Playing the Owl just as a 2-1 is normally not that great, but against a Rogue, on her turn she'll have 2 mana. She makes a dagger, kills the Owl, so it just hits her for 2 and uses half of her weapon, because it gets 2 uses every time she makes it. No, we're just drawing a card. This is such a weird, expensive card. It's only 2 damage for 5 mana. It does give you a random demon, right? But a lot of the demons you get aren't really worth the 5 mana. Now, like I said when I picked the card, 2 damage to a minion or 2 damage to anything really is worth about 2 mana. So really, I need to get a demon that's worth 3 mana or more. But a lot of them aren't. They're kind of mediocre demons for the most part. Because she used that dagger to hit me for 1, makes me think maybe she doesn't have the poison in her hand. I mean, she might be just planning on refreshing the dagger and then poisoning it. If she didn't have the poison, then I might get away with the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Probably it's just dead anyway, but since I have an odd number of mana, I'd rather do this than just draw a card. I have kind of a slow, crummy hand. This whole section here is not helping, and these guys are not exactly rush creatures. So, even though my deck is half cards that cost, like half minions that cost 3 or less, many of them are just not worth playing early on. If it was half this guy, my deck would be awesome, but no. On the plus side, I can totally silence him. I'm going to draw a card first because I'm not going to play both Owls. Am I? No. Am I? No. Am I? Here's a weird thought. Like, this guy, because he grows, he makes it tempting to do a weird, stupid play, which would be if I played Leroy Jenkins and then killed that, my opponent would have 2 1/1s and a 2/1, and then he'd get bigger. He'd be a 4/3. No, it wouldn't work out. I can't kill enough of the 1/1s to make it worthwhile. So, no, we're going to draw a card and then probably just Owl this. Alright. This is giving me an incentive to draw cards and lose life faster, so we'll see what happens there. I'm just going to hit her for 2. It's bad to leave the minion alive, but I couldn't kill it anyway. And the one thing is more often bad than leaving something alive is damaging something without killing it, without a clear plan to kill it. It'd be one thing if I had drawn a card that would do 1 damage to this that I could use next turn. Then I could see hitting it for 2, and like they each take 2 damage, whatever. But yeah, it's unlikely to work out well. You don't want to just damage their thing and leave it alive generally. That is some strong stuff. She used the coin to trigger the combo on him, right? Because rogues have that combo thing that if you've played any other card from your hand, then the combo effect will go off when you play this guy. So that made him do 2 damage, and then she played Eviscerate, which is 2 damage for 2 mana, but its combo deals an extra 2 damage. That was a very strong turn for her, not helping me so much. And the Bane of Doom is just, the 2 damage is not good enough. These guys have 3 hit points. I need to get them dead somehow, and my current cards are not helping with that. Better draw a card. My hand is so slow. I have so many 6-cost things. I think it's a problem with my deck. Half of my deck is cheap stuff, but a lot of it is not good early game fighting cheap stuff. And then half of my deck is slow. Well, that's a lot of your deck to be slow. So we're going to take it on the chin for a little bit, but I'm going to play this guy for now anyway. I'm wasting his silence, but at this point I need to put out something to slightly delay these guys. I mean, she can just make a dagger and kill it, so it's still not really helping any, but if she does that, then she's spending half her mana on making a dagger instead of on playing a card from her hand. Of course, she can play the super dagger, which she's going to use to beat me down. She did damage this guy. Instead of using her dagger, she took damage on this guy, which leaves him open to Bane of Doom. Also leaves him open to this guy, though. I'm in such a bad place right now. I'm so dead. Because I'm going to take at least 6 damage on my next turn from these two. I want to play this guy, right? He would kill that. He would bring this into Bane of Doom range, do 1 damage to each player, and I'd have a 6/6. I just can't do it, though, because I'm going to die if I approach things that way. If I blow this guy up, I gain 3 life. It wastes my whole turn. She can do 3 damage every turn with this until it runs out. Like, that's not gaining me a lot of ground. I need to get a minion out. I could play this guy for 4. I mean, next turn I'll be able to play him for free, but next turn might be too late. On the other hand, if I'm not killing these guys, how much damage am I taking? If I don't kill them, I'm taking 6, 7, 8 damage. It's not going to work out. No, I'm going to have to use my Argent Commander to kill one. Because that at least leaves me with a threat on the table that she's going to have to deal with. She can kill it just with this piece of junk. She can still do 5 damage to me directly. If she has a handful of surprise damage stuff of her own, then I'm probably just... Surprise! Oh, that's horrible too. Not only is he dangerous and I have to kill it before next turn because I can't afford to take 4 damage from a lot of things, but she draws a card every time one of her non-him minions dies. That's so bad for me. Oh, so bad. I can't even Twisting Nether yet, and it would be kind of excessive. This is so bad. So am I dead? I'm taking 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage next turn. Wow, I just don't even have anything to keep me alive. That is so sad.
So many possibilities.
I can do crazy impressive things, but they're not going to help. Like, I could play this guy, he would do 1 damage to everything, including me, but he'd kill this. And then, because I'd be at 10, I could play this for free. I still have 1 mana to play her, and she'd give one of them toughness. It wouldn't matter. My opponent would hit me for 9 damage and draw a card from him dying. All she'd need to do would be 1 more damage. And meanwhile, I'd have to kill her on the next turn regardless. I can do the Siphon Soul. It'll get rid of him, suffer from drawing cards, reduce the damage, and heal me a bit. But it's such a delaying action. Oh, I need to play this first. Because after I play this, I'm going to have healed 3, he would become more expensive again. Because it's not, it's like, it says damage your hero has taken, but really it's just like, it's your hit points minus 30. Is what he's subtracting from his casting cost. And they can't explain it that way because it's stupid math, but it's not how much damage you've ever taken. It's how much damage you've taken relative to full hit points. Oh, am I dead now? You got 7 mana, that's a lot. Okay, I'm not instantly dead, it's just that I'm so doomed that she's not really worried about it. Fair enough. I could Twisting Nether, get rid of all that stuff, but I'd still take damage from that. It's not great, and it would take my whole turn to do so. Now, what's the alternative? If I use this guy, He kills off 2 of these. There'd still be a lot of guys. And I killed that like that. There'd still be way too much damage for me to survive. No, I believe I have to Twisting Nether here. Because of the taunt, I can't attack my opponent first. I could kill this, but that's no fun. Let's let the Twisting Nether take as many things as possible. What's this? That's the main reason I took that card. I wasn't... You never know, it could come in handy. It saved my life there. None of my other cards would have. Would any of the other cards I could have chosen instead of that have done it? Probably not. I'm still doomed. She has 28 hit points. I have 4. And she can do at least 1 damage every turn. Because I don't have taunt stuff. Oh, look. She's playing a thing that heals her for 4. You can't go above 30, so it's even like wasting healing. She had 3 Defia's Brothers? That's really gross for Arena. I am so doomed. Like, it's actually getting ridiculous at this point. The lengths, like, I'm gonna die for sure because she can hit me for 1 damage. Okay, so here's the scenario where I survive. I'm gonna Hellfire. It's gonna reduce her to 1 health. It's gonna kill these guys, but it's also gonna hit me for 3 and her. So I'm gonna be at 1 hit point, which means on her turn she can just Mega Dagger and kill me. But I have 5 mana left. I use Bane of Doom to finish her. It's gonna give me a random demon. If that random demon is the one that gives me is the one that has taunt, then I could technically survive. I'm not sure. Also, there's a demon called Jaraxxus. I'm not sure if this can actually pull out Jaraxxus, but if it did, Jaraxxus would totally save my life, and I would probably win the game. We're gonna see what happens. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is I'm going to get a garbage minion, and it's not going to save me. Only that taunt guy or Jaraxxus will save me, and I don't think it can do Jaraxxus. Yeah, no. Garbage demon. I lose. Ooh. I think I have too many expensive slow things in here, and this deck has, like, no taunt. That was probably a mistake. I should have got taunt. I didn't want to take the taunt demon, because he's got a horrible drawback. Like, he's just not good, as far as I'm concerned. But in this deck, he actually would have been an improvement over, say, one of my 6/6 guys. Alright, so I've got 2 wins, 2 losses. Now it's sudden death. So we're going to see if I can pull out any more wins. I want to get at least 1 more win so that I break even on the arena run. But really, I want all the wins. I just want to keep winning. I don't think this deck is going to go all the way. So we're going to set our sights a little bit more realistically. I want to get 1 more win here. Because I feel my deck is not as solid as it could have been. I don't think any of my individual choices were that bad, but as a whole, it's made something that is... It has all these good cards, but guess what? They don't work together all that well.
I must protect the wild. Your soul shall be mine!
The surprise damage cards are all actually great, but I needed to replace... Because I had all of those, I didn't need the fat minions as much. I needed to have, like, instead of some of the fat minions, gotten more mid-game sort of things. So I could actually fight with my opponent well. Like, Yetis fight with your opponent well. All these things that have low hit points for their mana do not fight well. What do you got? And then you have the coin. Ugh. I wish I could kill her. Because that's like a great situation for her, right? Coin her out. His next turn, he's going to have 2 mana, but she makes the first minion you play each turn cost 1 less. So he could play a 4 mana. He could drop a Yeti on me next turn. This is the game where I wish I had one of those owls, because an owl could fight with her and win, and I could play the owl now and it would stop her from doing that. It would actually cost my opponent 1 mana next turn, which is going to be a big deal. But no, I don't have that. I can play this guy who will fight with her, and it's just fine. If they trade, I get a card back for him. That's awesome. But if he plays like a 4-cost minion, even a not particularly impressive one, it's gonna kick my ass. What the? Now that's pretty efficient. Like, he's just using his ability. He's only taking like 1 damage from that thing, killing it, and he has to keep this in play. But I don't know. If he had a Yeti in his hand, I think he'd be crazy to have not played the Yeti, even though it would have let my looter kill her. She's so obnoxious that I think I'm actually going to waste a Wolf Rider to kill her. I don't want him playing a 5-mana minion next turn, which is what she could do. He's got her. No, I guess it would only be 4. I was making a cost mistake somewhere. I think I was still factoring in the coin, which he can't use again. Whether a Yeti now would still have been really bad. Okay, so he played his own Wolf Rider. Interesting. That's pretty annoying, actually, because it does a lot of damage to these guys. So I'd like to do something cool, like play her, then play the Shattered Sun Cleric, give her +1/+1, then she would give her +1 toughness, but they'd all be susceptible to killing by this, so that's no fun. I guess I'll play the Yeti, but he is going to get beat up by this thing, I have no doubt. We're going to try and hang on to the Flesh-Eating Ghoul and play him sometime when I can start winning the fight on the board, which this deck apparently doesn't do very well, but I have a chance with the Yeti. Okay. You've clawed yourself. You're going to use that plus him to kill the Yeti. That's okay. I can live with that. Why wouldn't you do that first? Like, it doesn't really matter, but that's weird, dude. You're weird. Because it uses my mana more efficiently, I guess instead of giving a bonus to her now, I'm going to put out the Bluegill, buff it, and hit for 3. I don't like wasting its surprise, but as we've seen, I actually have a lot of surprise damage in here. So, do this, I have 2 3/2 minions, that's not bad. Now, he's got 5 mana, so if he has the rare spell Starfall, it's very good. It's like, do 2 damage to all minions, or do 5 damage to 1 minion. Which is very good. It's a very powerful spell. It is rare, though, so he's less likely to have it. Wow, I'm surprised he didn't save his claw for her, because with her out, every time he casts a spell, he gets a 1/1 minion, just for free. So if he played her, then cast claw with that other 1 mana, and used his claw to, with 2 attack and 2 armor to kill one of these guys, that would have been an amazing turn. This was a pretty averagey turn. So what can I do? It would take both of these guys to kill her, which is pretty annoying. I guess what I'm going to do instead, then, is ignore her and do a lot of damage. I mean, I could put him out and trade them both for her, and then he would get +3 attack from 3 things dying, so he'd be a 5/3, but he's kind of fragile. I don't really want to lose my whole army for that. I think I'd rather put the pressure on my opponent to figure out what to do. So Dread Infernal is going to hurt everything for 1. Which is not great, but it doesn't actually kill these guys, so yeah, they're in shapeshift killing range now, but that is a lot of beatings, and I still have a 6/6 he's got to deal with. So he could go kill, shapeshift, kill, still have 4 mana left, but what's he going to do, really? Ooh, that hurts. So he casts a spell, so he gets a free minion. 4 damage to 1 target and 1 damage to everything else. Swipe is an amazing card, by the way. He still lost her, and I'm not taking too much damage for this, and it could be worse. It would have been nice to have him out somehow, but he probably would have gotten killed. Wow. You know what? I'm going to do this again. He's still big. He kills the 1/1. And then after playing him, I can play her, and she'll make him even tougher. I have fewer cards than my opponent. Our life totals are pretty close, though. And I have stuff. I have good stuff in play, so having a 6/7 in play is better than having a card in your hand most of the time. Your chair making a lot of creaky noises is not best for recording. Come on, dude, what are you going to do? So, if I take I can't play this guy yet, but if I take much more damage, I'll be able to. If he puts out something that I can fight with, then I can play the flesh-eating ghoul and it'll get bigger from killing things. If he puts out... Druids have a lot of annoying minions that like buffs, they have buffs that they can put on their minions and stuff like that. I can get rid of taunt and buffs with this guy. So I can do a lot right now.
My eyes are
Heal himself for 3. Okay, that's a little annoying. Leroy Jenkins. Now, we're so close, I'm going to do the math to see if I can kill my opponent. If I play this, silence him. He no longer has taunt. Then I play Leroy Jenkins, so that's 6, 12, 13, 14 damage I can do to my opponent. Obviously doesn't do the job, so we're not going to do that. But you have to check. I don't think I'm going to silence him. I think I'm just going to want to kill him with this. This guy will be down to 4 hit points, then he'll heal and he'll get another one from her. She'll be able to attack through. If I play the flesh-eating ghoul first, he'll get +1 attack, so he'll be a 3/3, which is not great, but if I'm doing that, I'm not going to be playing the Spellbreaker, because there won't be anything good to silence. I'm not going to play Leroy Jenkins, because I'm not finishing my opponent this turn, so we're going to save him. So I figure, I'm going to have 5 mana left, I'm going to draw a card and see what I get. Maybe it'll help the situation. That doesn't really help the situation, but I'll play it anyway. Or, well, I will. Actually, playing it's a risk, because right now there's a 50-50 chance that she would buff the flesh-eating ghoul, which would make him big enough to survive him, which would be cool. She did it anyway! Awesome. My army is kind of fragile here. Like, between the 3 damage from him and anything from spells, I could lose all of these guys in a hurry. But if he doesn't have the right cards, if he doesn't have an area spell, for example, I might be able to do some serious damage to him next turn. So, he's thinking about, does he use this to kill that guy? Like, hit him for 3 and then kung fu him for 1? He would take 6 damage from that. So that's not great. I mean, yeah, he'd get 1 armor from using this, but that's not that helpful. Oh, that's much better. He can do that and then use him to kill him. Wow, he was more worried about the ghoul, who needs 3 things to die to get 6 attack, than he's worried about the thing that already has 6 attack. That's a little silly, I think. Although I guess he is planning on killing other stuff, so now the ghoul will be similar in size, and the ghoul could still grow, so he may have a point, but now let's see if I can kill him. Because this is 10 damage, 16, 18. This is why you play surprise damage stuff. Just because I'm annoying, I'm going to silence this stupid order. Just because I've done the math and it doesn't affect whether I can kill him or not. I'm a jerk. We play Leroy first because I don't want to discard him to the Soulfire. Hit for 6, it gives the opponent free minions, but it doesn't matter because I'm just doing that. So there you go, I got to break even. Not too shabby. Of course, now that I've done that, time to get greedy, and I'm going to see if I can get up to 5 wins next time. If you found that useful or entertaining, or if you enjoy cookies, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonet Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.